Hello, number ones, and welcome to Metatron's Academy. You know how the other day we listened to recordings of Queen Elizabeth's accent in 1957? Well, the other day was the Queen, today's the King. Checkmate. So we've got two recordings to listen to. This is one of them, and then there is another one. But which king, you ask? Well, so this is Queen Elizabeth. This is her father, George VI. And this is her grandfather, George V. This is the voice we're going to listen to today. This man was born in 1865. The recording is from the early 30s, at least the first one is, I believe, from 1932. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first time I'll listen to it without interrupting. Second time I'll provide commentary.
Through one of the marvels of modern science, I am enabled this Christmas Day to speak to all my peoples throughout the empire. I take it as a good omen that wireless should have reached its present perfection at a time when the empire has been linked in closer union. For it offers us immense possibilities to make that union closer still. It may be that our future will lay upon us more than one stern test. Our past will have taught us how to meet it unshaken. For the present, the work to which we are all equally bound is to arrive at a reasoned tranquility within our borders, to regain prosperity without self-seeking.
Okay, so I know I said I was going to play the whole thing, but I actually think it's better if we do half. Then I present some opinions and say a few things, and then we'll continue with the other half. I think that way is better. Okay, so first of all, I keep wanting to say emperor because British Empire, but I mean King George technically was an emperor, just wasn't an emperor of the UK, it was emperor of India, regardless of that, little history there. But yeah, no, so as we see, I already see some of the characteristics similar to Queen Elizabeth, his granddaughter's accent, that are still in here. This is not as old school sounding as the one we listened to yesterday, which was recorded in 1888. So that one was even older, fully Victorian, in fact, but you can still see that there is a progression. So one thing, of course, there was a British Empire, still was a British Empire, as he addresses that. Let me see. So marvels of modern science.
Marvels of modern science.
Modern science. Yeah, of course, once again, as we always say, these are all very upper class. I actually wish we had some recordings of the common people. Maybe I'll find some. Let me see how he says day.
Christmas Day.
He fully pronounced the diphthong, day. In the Victorian one, we noticed that they were still pronouncing it dare, which I thought was a fascinating retention of because of course this all has to do with the great vowel shift. GVS, I could make a video dedicated to it if you're interested in how vowels have changed their pronunciation over time in Great Britain. But in the meantime, let's see how his R's sound.
Peoples throughout the empire.
He does not have the rolled R's, so those are already gone, that we found in the previous video, by the way, link in the description.
Offers us immense possibilities to make that union closer still.
Yeah, he says make. I think he pronounced this future. Let me see how he says tranquility.
At a reasoned tranquility.
Tranquility. It still is super posh for obvious reasons.
Within our borders. To regain prosperity.
Yeah, it's still in that prosperity. It's still in that situation when it's really in between. It's not a full E. I don't believe, do people even do that in the upper class anymore? Prosperity.
Without self-seeking. And to carry with us.
Carry.
Though.
Did he say carry?
Self-seeking. And to carry with us.
Yeah, carry. So as I was saying, so basically Queen Elizabeth was really imitating her dad and her dad was possibly still had the accent from the granddad, and Kerry rather than carry. So the short A sound was still pronounced in this man's time and all the way up to the Queen still, although probably at that time it was already starting to become a little bit of an old school pronunciation. But at this time, Kerry.
Those whom the burden of past years has disheartened or overborne.
Yeah, and if you notice, it doesn't do it in past because past is a long R. So there's a big difference between long R and short A, which is really a E in this time. And we'll notice this in the other recording, but let's continue.
My life's aim has been to
Has been. Yeah.
serve as I might towards those ends. Your loyalty, your confidence in me has been my abundant reward. I speak now from my home and from my heart to you all.
It still fascinates me how we can perfectly understand a man from 1865. I will, if you're interested, do let me know in the comments, but I might make a few videos on reconstructing how people spoke in the Middle Ages. And as I say, I can make a dedicated video on GVS and see if we can reconstruct some of that.
To men and women so cut off by the snows, the desert, or the sea, that only voices out of the air can reach them. To those cut off from fuller life by blindness, sickness, or infirmity, and to those who are celebrating this day with their children and their grandchildren, to all, to each, I wish a happy Christmas.
I knew it was going to say happy Christmas. I actually like the way it sounds. Very distinguished. But not just because of the royalty thing. I would say that a lot of educated people would have sounded this way in England, particularly in the south of England. It would be interesting to see how distinct with the north of England, or even Midlands. I'm sure it would have been, of course, but it would be interesting to see.
God bless you.
God bless you. Okay, so let's move to the next recording, for which we have an actual record. Look at that. Have you got your record player ready? Oh, just for context, this was recorded instead in 1935. This is 1 year before the king's death. Man, look at that.